Little gassy. HE-42 Jungmann, the first military issue direct impingement rifle, came out of Sweden. This one in 1943. Not quite the direct impingement the U.S. military took to. We made some advancements. The attempted military rifle has been recreated faithfully by Brownell's, but the BRN-10 that Brownell's and MLN is giving away. We'll take a look at that coming up next. Thank God we didn't go with this system. I hope you guys saw all the gas that comes in your face, because that's the tube right there and it blows it all open right in front of you. Let's check out that Brownell's. Those of you that paid attention and watched the tabletop already know all the uniqueness and effort that went into making this thing what it is, to be as accurate as possible historically and still functional. What do you say we break it in? We got a 20 round mag, Brownell's magazine, running some old Malaysian military surplus. Hopefully that doesn't cause any problems for us. Hear that ding off of the flash hider? I bet you hear some more. Let's see how it does. Tell you what, this is definitely a rifle where you got to flex your abs if you want to fire at any pace. It's smoking hot, but it ran, and that was on some 30-year-old military surplus ammunition. Next, we'll take a look at how it performs with some modern ammunition. I'm going to group at 50 yards, just I want to be fair, right? Iron sights, my eyeballs, dark day. Let's be fair to the gun and take a look at how it does at 50 yards. Before we try to shoot accurately, we need to know what mags it's going to run on. Obviously, it ran on that Brownell's aluminum mag, and one of the challenges with AR-10s is because there was no mil spec, right? This was proposed. Army said, this particular design is what was sold to Cuba, believe it or not. But it never became a military firearm. And as a result, there is no mil spec, which means that magazine catch, depth, and placement can be different from gun to gun. So how are they making magazines? Well, most of these go off of the SR25 pattern, but as we've proven in other articles here on AmmoLand, it's not always the same. So we're going to run through a bunch of mags, get my pockets loaded up, and see what runs and what doesn't. Only have 3 rounds in here because this is being filmed during COVID-19 and ammo is rare and expensive. What we want to see is, will it pick up, cycle a few, and lock open when done? We know that this military surplus M80 ball definitely already works, unlike this Pro Mag. This giant Pro Mag is not even going in the mag well. So that guy's a fail. Next up we have IMI Defense windowed mag. That fit. Does not want to lock. The reason why it's not locking is the lip at the bottom of the magazine well here is a little too low for the stylish plastic that's on here. That gets a no-go. Mag pull, everybody loves their P-mags. Same thing. Can't go in far enough because of that style line on the plastic. A shorter Pro Mag, I doubt it, but nope. Doesn't even want to get in the rifle. C Products steel mag. Now the steel, of course, being a whole lot stronger, is allowed to be thinner. And it fits. Let's see how it cycles. It ran, it locked back, it drops free. C Products or Duramag steel mag is a go. We got a couple more here. One more out of the pocket, Hex mag. This has stylish plastic. Nope. So it looks like if you want to run the classic, true to the pattern, you got to run the magazines that are true to the pattern. So stick with your Brownell's aluminum or your C Products Defense / Duramag magazines for the BRN-10. In the interest of keeping it realistic and not being able to blame the rifle, we're going to shoot 5 different groups, 5-shot groups from each of these loads. Starting off a little light at 125 with the nozzler. Then we've got some 147 grain loads from PMC and PPU. That's your run-of-the-mill stuff. And then up at 150 and 165, 2 Federal Premium loads. Sorry about the glare there. And since I'm using irons, I'm going to be shooting 50 yards to keep it fair for the gun. King every shot. So here's our results. Keep in mind this was only 50 yards, but that's because it's irons and I didn't want my eyesight to be messing with what you saw. Nozzler 125 grade was maybe a little light for this gun. Didn't like cycling it too much. The PMC 7.62 NATO 147 grain, not fancy ammo, did really well. PPU, this is M80 ball. This is a more military spec load, if you will. Shot pretty much what you'd expect for a military load. This Federal PowerShock 150 grain solid copper, unfortunately, just would not cycle, and had one get real stuck in the chamber. Had to mortar it out with that charging handle being where it is. It was a little bit difficult, especially to do at a public range. So I'd say stay away from that stuff. However, this Federal Premium with the Barnes TSX, this was a 165 grain. Really well. Look at that, folks. That's 3 shots, all almost touching, barely touching. Did pretty darn good, and this string was undoubtedly me, the shooter. So what this is telling you, especially since I did better at the beginning, is either it likes the lighter stuff, which would make sense for a classic military rifle, since M80 ball is 147 or 150 grain, or I was getting fatigued. But this still came up pretty well. I think this rifle is definitely capable of a lot better. And if so from here to here is 1 inch, so we're looking at an inch at 50 yards on irons. I'll take that. This is exceptional. Just a little ammo picky, which does seem to fall in line with the history of AR-10s. No complaints there. Kind of expected. Stay away from that stuff. So my concluding thoughts on this beautiful, faithful reproduction of history. It's still a little hot, so I'm going to get those handguards on my bag and not the barrel. It's historical. It's as accurate as you're going to find that you can afford without going to a lot of special extra lengths. You've got the emission of the forward assist and the brass deflector. You've got the emission of the fencing around the button, the pivot pin being retained in the pin, not through a detent. Well, it is through a detent here, but it doesn't have the raised part on there. All the markings, everything seemed to be pretty accurate. Run classic military style steel or aluminum magazines. And, I mean, it ran reliably on this this is from 1983, Malaysian surplus ammo just for our punching rounds out. You saw the accuracy. It's more accurate than I can be today. I think it's definitely got some great potential there. Recoil's not that bad. You saw me shooting it standing up. You saw me shooting it at the bench. Yeah, rapid fire mag dumping, you're going to need to flex your abs. Or like me, just have a beer gut that kind of holds you there. But how often are you going to be doing that with 308? And really, that's somewhat abusive on such a fine historical reproduction like this. I'm honored to have had the chance to shoot this thing and to prove it. One of you will be the lucky winner from Ammoland who gets to take this guy home, and you'll know exactly what magazines are going to run in it and what to expect out of what ammo loads. So when you hit the range, you'll have a great idea of what you need to bring. Fun project, glad I got to be a part of it, and thanks for watching. little extra bit. Just wanted to show you guys, in case you were wondering, that those polymer mags do run in our modern AR-10s that don't follow that same design. Here's our hex mag. Here's our Pro Mag. I missed the mag catch. That's not cool. Good thing nobody watches this far in the video, right? It appears our hex mag is a fail regardless. Magpul P-Mag. Magpul of a different generation. You can also see, if you watch the whole video, the difference in recoil that you get with some of the modernizations that are out there. Long Pro Mag. One malfunction. Did not feed well. That round is dead. And the IMI mag. Besides, those mags were going to unload themselves, right? Thanks for watching. Stay safe.